He's here. Now broadcasting from the wide open spaces of McClendon, Chisholm, Texas, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with the greatest threat to Rockwall County's liberal left, a true conservative and our leader, Bunker Bob.
Well, it's great to be with you today, and I wanted to give you an update on what we talked about today during the show. And this, I hope, will be a quick 5-minute summary. Yesterday, I did a terrible job. I think it was almost 10 or 11 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. So I started the show with talking about the city accountant. The city has chosen to stay with the same accountant, Ray Smith, who's done a great job. And there wasn't a lot to talk about other than we've kept the same accountant. Then I moved to the issue of the Sonoma Verde PID, and I talked about the fact that there's a new Sonoma Verde PID administrator, that the Rockwall County Appraisal District, a state agency, has required the city to basically to use, and all other cities as well. Most of the show, I would say the first 25 minutes of the show, was dealt with the Sonoma Verde PID. If you live in Sonoma Verde, that information is going to be very interesting to you. If you don't live in Sonoma Verde, it may not be. So you can skip over that if you'd like. But if you do live in Sonoma Verde, I think that information is going to be very helpful to you. And I hope that if you have questions about it, I'm going to be having, I hope to have, the Adrienne Balcom, the lady I call the Iron Lady, on my show via Skype on next Monday. So she can answer questions related to the PID if you have any. So I'll be posting my email address, and since I've got a new one, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'll post it on the description very, very soon. I also highlighted the fact that a winery is coming to the city of McClendon Chisholm. A nice couple who live in High Point Lake Estates, right outside the city of McClendon Chisholm, are moving forward, and the plat for that issue was, and it's not the plat, it's the preliminary plat, I should say, was approved for that little winery. It's going to be more of an event center type thing, and I think it really works well with our city, especially citizens who care about keeping all of the restaurants and businesses that come into our city. We'd like to see them. We'd like to see people who live in, or small business owners, those types of things, take the primary role. We don't want to see big box stores and big chains come in. So that's coming in. It's moving forward. We're glad to see that. The other big issue that I talked about was the master fee schedule, and focus on the fact that the city is adopting a per square foot fee on the master fee schedule. I'll be having the former Mayor Pro Tem, Scott Turnbull, on my show next Thursday, and we'll be going over what that means to the long-term revenue of the city. So be sure to stay tuned for that. We also focused on a little bit on animal control, and the fact that the issue of animal control for our city is really not one where if you have a lost dog, animal control picks it up and takes it in. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose really is to deal with the kinds of animals that are aggressive, that are causing problems, where there would be where it would need to be removed, and we have established a city ordinance that protects that. Now the city has engaged with a company that will do it on a per issue basis. It'll cost $450 per issue that the city would pay, but then it would be that cost would be passed on to the owner along with all court and legal fees if it goes that far. So that was also highlighted in today's show. I also emphasized the fact that a new code enforcement officer is being looked at. The former code enforcement officer was the city administrator, Dave Butler, who's retired. He's a former police officer, and I suspect and am predicting that Jim Simmons, the current fire chief is going to be taking on that role to help enforce the code of our city and make sure that things are adhered to. So it's an important role, and so if you want more information about that, I talked about that as well. I talked also about sanitation services and my expectation that we will be moving away from CWD and that the City Council has already made its decision to go with Republic. They're just going through the motions of making it look as though they're going to give CWD a good, I guess, they're going to do due diligence and allow CWD to defend themselves when it comes to issues related to that. But do expect the cost for sanitation services to go up because Republic is more expensive than CWD, and so I'll be keeping you up to date on that. And finally, the BRIC campaign is moving forward. I talk about how confusing the whole BRIC campaign for that goes around the Veterans Memorial is, why it's a real slap in the face to the couple that actually gave the money for the monument, and how the people who are in charge of this process are really doing a true disservice to the citizens and the veterans altogether. So that's basically what I discussed today on today's show. And I hope that if you have questions or would like more information, that you will contact me via email. I will try to get back with you, or we'll discuss it on the show. Don't forget that coming up on next Monday, I'm going to try to have the Iron Lady, Adrienne Balcom, and next Thursday, council member or former Mayor Pro Tem Scott Turnbull. So until then, I hope to see you come back to us, and I hope you have a great weekend. I hope the recap worked for you and was helpful for you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.